Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight Season 14, Episode 5. The couples are still on their honeymoon and I'll try and review the couples individually. And then at the end I might talk about the fight between, the conversation between Katina and Lindsey. So to start off with, I'll start off with Steve and Noi. Steve and Noi are becoming the front runners for me. I like the fact that they're avoiding everybody else's drama. I like the fact that they're doing things that are romantic. And you can see that they are falling in love with one another, even though I think Steve is trying to be a bit more controlled and sort of a bit more laid back. I would have expected him, given the way he's always led his life and the way he appears to be a free spirit, to be the first one to say he's falling in love with his partner. But we all know that Noi is a hopeless romantic. So it is to be expected that she was the first one who was going to fall in love with him. And I really like everything about them. I really like how they appear to be caring for one another, how they appear to be taking time to get to know one another, and how they are bonding and they're trying to stay away from everybody else's drama. Even when people are having fights or disagreements, they just keep to themselves and they don't involve themselves in everybody else's sort of issues. So I really hope they continue on this path. I can see them having a lasting relationship because Steve has had the experience of arranged marriages, so he understands arranged marriages and seems to be very open to the idea of making things work. So I hope they continue to grow and their bond strengthens and they become a healthier couple. I can see them going past decision day and having a happy and fulfilled marriage. From there, we'll go on to Mina and Michael. Just Mina and Michael, for me, I didn't quite understand their disagreements. And I think Jasmina, hopefully when she watches it, she sees how she comes across, because I really like them as a couple, but I think she's a bit more forceful with her beliefs and ideas and values, and she does not compromise them for anything. And I think with the disagreement they had last week and the disagreement that they had this week, the fact that she said, I am sorry that you felt that way, that's not an apology. I like the fact that the producers played back the clip and you can see her cutting Michael off, and he was right to speak up for himself, but I think she could have handled it better, or she could have asked him to say, okay, let's take a moment and calm down and then we'll have a conversation. Because even after she gave her half-hearted apology, Michael still apologized. And I like the fact that Michael is standing up for himself, even though he's trying to make this marriage work. Because most guys we've seen in previous relationships, when the woman is very forceful, they sort of take a step back and just try and go along to get along and do everything to make their bride happy. But I think Michael, is someone who knows what he wants in a marriage and knows what he wants in a relationship and is prepared to stand by his values. I see them working as a couple. I think it's just a matter of compromise. And Jasmina needs to understand that she's not always going to have her way. She needs to learn to compromise. And I think she needs to learn to sort of be a bit more flexible, because she comes across as very rigid in the sense that what she believes is what she believes and she doesn't care what everybody else believes. And that's why I think she said, I'm sorry you feel that way, because in her opinion, she doesn't think she's wrong. But when they played it back, you could see her cut Michael off. And I hope when she watches the show, she sees what he meant and she gives him a proper apology. And I can see them working. They are my second favorite this season. So I can actually see them working and having a relationship past decision day. From them, we go to Katina and Olajuwon. For me, Katina and Olajuwon, I believe Olajuwon is feeding or is doing the things he needs to do or he knows he needs to do in order to make Katina happy. And I don't know whether he's being genuine or not. I don't understand. I can see a lot of red flags in the way he's got a lot of highs and a lot of lows, in the sense that he doesn't seem to moderate himself. He doesn't seem to sort of have any understanding, because the way he spoke to her at the gym and the way he behaved on the boat when he's talking about having dated a mother and a daughter, and then suddenly he's taking her on a date and he's sweeping her off her feet, and she's suddenly all giddy and crying and saying he's the best thing. There are a lot of red flags with that relationship. I am still on the fence with them. I don't know. I would love it for them to work out, but I don't really see it. I really don't see it. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. I really don't have much to say about them, apart from that. From there, we go to Lindsey and Mark. Lindsey and Mark, for me, break my heart because I can see on paper what the experts saw in the two of them, and I can see how they felt this relationship was going to work. And they were working. Mark needs to find a way. He knows his wife. He needs to find a way of communicating with her that doesn't sort of break her down, because you could tell she was broken because she was saying she's falling in love with this guy. And then suddenly he says to her, we need to slow down. And just like, I think he should have said, when you're so high and you have these confrontations, they sort of put me off, and I don't want that to be the thing that ends our marriage. And I think in that sense she could have understood him, not for him to say, oh, we need to take a step back. And so I don't know. I really hope they find their way back together, because they come across as a very loving couple. They come across as a very caring couple. And unlike Olajuwon and Katina, with Lindsey and Mark, I can actually see, the reasons why they were matched, the reasons why they are most likely to be a successful couple. And I hope they find their way back and they sort of don't let incidents with other couples derail them and sort of focus on the two of them. But we'll see how it goes. From there, we go to poor Steve, who's saddled with Alyssa. I really wish Married at First Sight allowed people in cases such as Steve to get an annulment, because she has treated that man horribly. Since day one, even the way she recited her vows, she just went through the motions and just said what needed to be said to get it over and done with. She's been avoiding him. Every time she does anything, she's so angry to be in the same space with him. And it's like, you're not that great that you'd underestimate somebody else. There are qualities. I know I've read on social media. I try not to let other media posts from their past sort of influence my reviews. But even if he had issues in his background, he's a way better guy than most people. The way he's coming across, the way he's exercising patience and he's tolerating everything she's dishing him. I think she needs to give him an opportunity, because she's going to miss out on a great guy. And I think even her mother is now understanding that, oh boy, I made a mistake, because she was upset with her mother for telling her, she needs to do better. She's upset with Steve, she's upset with Chris for telling her mother how bad she was. And it's just like, seriously, why did you expect him to lie? He didn't say anything that they said in private. All he said is that things are not working out, unless he said anything else that was taken off camera. But still, you're on a reality show. What do you expect? What do you seriously expect? I don't understand her. I wish they could just send her home and just, do Chris the favor and, of just leaving him alone and not having to be in the same space with that woman, undermining him and sort of devaluing his worth. Anyway, that's them. And then the fight, the conversation between Katina and Lindsey, for me, I think it was a non-issue. I think Katina made more of a big deal of it than it needed to be. And the fact that Alyssa started sort of siding with Katina, Alyssa had issues with Lindsey and was looking for somebody else to speak up for her, to sort of have a confrontation with Lindsey, and then she would piggyback on it. I don't see why Alyssa was sort of following Katina and sort of trying to pacify Katina. If anything else, I would have expected Jasmina or Noi to be the ones to do that, because they're neutral to the situation. They have their own issues in their relationships, but they don't have as much as Alyssa has. Alyssa needs to focus on herself. And so I didn't quite understand why Katina was going that hard at Lindsey. Yes, Lindsey might have had an issue with Olajuwon, but if she's apologized to Olajuwon, Katina needs to accept it for what it is and she needs to move on. There are a lot of flags with Olajuwon. She needs to focus on her marriage. She needs to sort of identify those issues, let this man know, and find a way forward instead of her continuing to have issues with Lindsey. Lindsey has got her own marriage. I wish everybody was just like Steve and Noe, who focus on themselves and leave everybody else alone. But anyway, I digress. That's my review for this week, guys. Please, please, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.